Hello, Jonathan Jimbo here. Welcome to my first voice tutorial. This is my first attempt at trying to do voice commentary. I've tried talking and playing at the same time. It didn't go well at all. So hence, I've got gameplay in the background. The gameplay in the background is just me having fun with the crossbow, practicing, playing quickly, jumping into buildings, playing aggressively, but still aiming for headshots, still shooting special arrows, trying to kill as many enemies as possible as quickly as I can. The purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to explain what achievements you're going to want going into the upcoming tournament. The way the tournament works is you've got 15 minutes and you want to score as many points as you can. If you complete the level within the 15-minute time frame, you go to a harder version of the same level. So if you complete Purgatory 1 within the 15 minutes, you go to Purgatory 2, and then to Purgatory 3 if you're insanely fast. So this is different from the main game. In the main game, when you complete Purgatory, you go to Paradise Lost. Instead, this is a 6-day tournament. Each day you'll be playing a different level. So the first 3 days, well, day 1 you'll play Purgatory, day 2 you'll play Paradise Lost, day 3 you'll play the Abyss, and then that repeats for day 4, 5 and 6. The key for this tutorial is that the tournament uses your main game progress. So any achievements you've got in the main game will carry over to the tournament. It doesn't work the other way around. If you can't earn any main game achievements in the tournament, but achievements earned in the main game will help you get a high score. So this tutorial is going to be explaining what achievements you're going to need if you want to stand a chance at scoring highly. One other thing I'd like to mention about the tournament before getting into this tutorial is that you can play the tournament on the same profile as your main game run. You don't need to worry about losing the run. You don't need to worry about finishing the run before the tournament. You can keep them both on the same profile and your run should still be intact. So before getting into the achievements you want, I'm going to explain first the scoring system and rough strategies you'll want to use in order to score as high as you can, and then with that I'll explain the achievements that you'll want in order to make those strategies viable. The way the scoring system works is there are 5 categories. Your score in each category will sum to your total score, so you want to maximise the points in each category. So the first category is Tithe Collector. In that category you're scored for the gold you acquire. Every 1 gold is 1 point. The next category is Marksman. You score marksman points every headshot that you get. You score more marksman points the further away that you landed the headshot. So you want to be able to score your headshots from as far away as you can. The third category is Executioner. The game's description is to decimate enemies in rapid succession. Now, from my testing, the way it works is you want to rack up as high of a combo as possible. If you pause for more than 10 seconds, your combo will reset. Now, from what I've also observed, your points from Marksman tend to be a lot higher than your points from Executioner, even if I'm trying to maximise Executioner points. But in this tournament, you'll want to try and maximise both. The fourth category is Saviour. Each orphan you save is worth 25,000 points. That'll be a nice big bonus in the tournament. Now, the final category, which won't be part of the tournament, is Pit Dweller. Now, the reason why this won't be part of the tournament is the portal to the pits will not appear within the tournament. Normally in the main game, the pits carry a 2.5 times multiplier. So points you score from other categories in the pit will be worth 1.5 times their respective categories, and that will form your Pit Dweller score. However, in the tournament, because there are no pits, you won't be scoring anything from Pit Dweller. Now, the basic strategy you're going to want to use is you're going to try to score as many headshots as you can, as fast as you can. Those headshots are going to be the bulk of your points. You want to play aggressively as possible, flanking your enemies as necessary, and shooting them in the head. You will want to use specials. Normally in the main game, if you use area of effect specials, you're denying yourself of points because the headshots are what give you the points. But in this, you'll want to be using the area of effect specials to assist with moving through the level faster. They'll also be handy for slaying the bosses quicker and preserving your executioner combos. While the points you get from those might not rival the points you get from your headshots, they'll still be a nice bonus. Now, the general strategy in mind, let's get into the achievements you're going to want. The first key achievements are the On a Budget series. They unlock orphans in the main level. These orphans, like I mentioned, if you save them, they'll be worth 25,000 points, which is a nice big bonus. So it's imperative that you have those achievements so that you can get that bonus. There are two ways I'd recommend for getting that achievement. The first way is to just skip straight to the boss and take down the boss with basic arrows. The second method is to go through the level, killing the enemies, picking up random drops until you get the ammo you need to take down the boss. One key point I want to mention about the On the Budget achievements that confuses a lot of players. The game's description is badly worded. To get the On a Budget achievements in Paradise Lost and the Abyss, you'll want to start from that level specifically. If you start from Purgatory, if you buy something in Purgatory, even if you buy nothing in Paradise Lost, you'll deny yourself of the achievement. And while they're the key achievements, you'll also want to push your achievement progress as high as you can. Now, the reason for this is the higher your achievement progress, the more enemies that will be there. The more enemies will be there, the more headshots you can get, and the more headshots you can get, the more points you can get. So while the On a Budget achievements are the key ones, you'll also want to be getting as many achievements as possible regardless of what they unlock. Going back to the most useful achievements for the tournament, you'll also want to complete the time trial achievements for Purgatory, Paradise Lost and the Abyss. By doing so, you'll unlock more drops in those levels. Now, those drops can either be bloods, quivers or special ammo, all of which will be useful. To unlock the time trial achievements, you'll want to complete the level as fast as you can. I recommend just either skipping straight to the boss or farming the arrows you need. Now, these time trial achievements will also help you out with getting the On a Budget achievements. The more drops you can get, the higher chance that you can pick up the special arrows you need before coming to the boss. Another set of useful achievements are the Mastery achievements. Now, most of those unlock extra HP. Those HP mean you can play a lot more aggressively, and you can afford to take up more damage if you have more starting HP. Now, each of the three levels has a Mastery achievement associated with it. So there's Purgatory Mastery, Paradise Lost Mastery, and the Abyss Mastery. To get a Mastery achievement, you must complete the entire level, including the boss, without taking any damage. Now, if you've got Holy Armor does not count as damage. So if you take damage while you've got Holy Armor, that won't count against your Mastery. However, if you take HP damage, that will count against your Mastery. Now, similarly to On a Budget, it works the same way for Paradise Lost Mastery and the Abyss Mastery. If you take damage in Purgatory and you're shooting for, say, Paradise Lost Mastery, you won't be able to get the Mastery if you start from Purgatory. The easiest way to get the Mastery achievement for a particular level is to start in that level that you want to get the achievement for. Now, the Purgatory Mastery achievement is easier to get. I recommend farming for Cataclysm, then using that on Anakim, either to nuke Anakim from the get-go or to take down the monks. Now, Paradise Lost Mastery and the Abyss Mastery are a lot harder. My way of getting Paradise Lost Mastery was to skip all the enemies, move to Gabriel as fast as possible, trying to dodge arrows, and then shooting down Gabriel with basic arrows. Some people might find it easier to go through the level slowly and carefully, killing enemies, gaining gold, and buying arrows that they need to take down Gabriel. For the Abyss Mastery, I certainly recommend farming for some special arrows like Tempest, and then using that against the hordes of mobs in the Asmodeus fight. The other masteries that award HP are the Mastery of the Pit of Immolation and the Mastery of the Pit of Despair. The other pit masteries unlock orphans in the pits, but they won't help you too much for the tournament because the tournament doesn't include the pits. Another series of useful achievements are the Unwanted series. To unlock them, you must save a certain number of orphans in a single run. There are 3 unwanted achievements. The first one, you'll need to save 3 orphans in a single run. The second is 5, and the third is 7. These achievements unlock you extra ammo for all of your special arrows, so super useful. If you want those achievements, I recommend first getting I recommend first unlocking all the Orphans, so that includes getting all 3 on a budget achievements and the Pit Masteries, specifically the Pit of Reformation Mastery, the Pit of Perdition Mastery, and the Pit of Agony Mastery. As mentioned before, the Pit of Immolation and the Pit of Despair Masteries unlock extra HP. They don't. The Orphan comes pre-unlocked once you've beaten those pits at least once. Another thing that will be very useful for scoring is unlocking the different enemy types. Now, you can unlock different variations of the same enemy. So, for example, the Knights, you can unlock variations with shield. You unlock Black Knights which have higher HP. Higher HP means more headshots and therefore more scoring opportunity. You also unlock Red Knights, which are faster and also have slightly higher HP. You also can unlock variations on the different monks as well. To unlock those extra enemy types, the achievements you'll want are the ones that you get from killing various enemies in the game. Now, you'll get those from longevity of playing. You don't need to kill those enemies in a single run. Now, one thing I will mention is you'll want to make sure you're doing the pits, as some of those enemies are incubi and ghosts, which are mainly in the purgatory pits, also in the abyss. There are achievements for killing enemy types that don't reside in purgatory, so for example, killing cupids and banshees inside Paradise Lost. One achievement of that form is the Storm the Abbey 4 achievement. You unlock that by killing 901 monks. That will unlock you a 4th bow slot, or crossbow slot for that matter. That will be very useful for housing more special arrows that you can pick up within the tournament. The achievements for killing lots of enemies are the main way you unlock the various special arrow types. These special arrow types will be very useful with clearing enemies quickly and hopefully getting a higher score within the tournament. Now, to go over the special arrows you want to unlock, the first is Tempest and Wrath of God. You'll get those just from beating the first cycle, so you'll get Tempest from beating Anakim the Abominable, and you'll get Wrath of God from beating Asmodeus. Tempest is very useful for clearing cupids, as well as clearing lots of enemies in a line. It's also useful for stunning monks out of their attack animations, so you can come in close and shoot them in the head. It's also very useful against Gabriel. If you blast him in the head with it, you can take him down quite rapidly. Wrath of God can also clear a large group of cupids, and is generally very useful at clearing a room full of enemies. I'd also like to mention Cupid's Wrath. It's a very good homing arrow, especially in the tournament. Cupid's Wrath, as the name would suggest, are very useful for killing cupids. Now, these cupids are quite difficult to headshot, especially from afar. Thus, it's quite difficult to score that many points from the cupids. So one strategy is to use your special arrows to take out the cupids whilst headshotting the abominations, knights and monks for the points. Another special arrow I'd like to mention is Volley 5. 2 shots of Volley 5 to the head with the crossbow will kill Gabriel on cycle 1. That will allow you to kill him quickly. He won't be worth that many points to kill, so you want to spend as little time killing him as possible. The best special arrows you'll want unlocked are Cataclysm 3 and Cataclysm 5, as well as Hand of God. Now, they are the hardest special arrows to unlock. So, for example, Cataclysm 3 requires killing 3,000 monks. Cataclysm 5 requires killing 3,600 cupids, and Hand of God requires killing 1,700 ghosts. That's roughly about 80 playthroughs of the Purgatory Pit, so that'll take a long time if you're not close to finishing it already. Other special arrows such as Ball of Lightning 3, Curse of God, Pestilence, and Azure Fury, while they're nowhere near as good as Cataclysm 3 or 5, they're still useful for clearing large groups of enemies, especially at low cycles, which is what you'll be playing for the tournament mostly. Also, Incursion is useful against killing Anakim quickly, as well as against charging knights. Going back to Wrath of God, you'll also want the Armageddon achievement. That achievement will unlock you extra ammo for Wrath of God. So normally, Wrath of God contains 6 arrows, but when you unlock the achievement, that will upgrade that to 12. And then with the unwanted achievement, that will become 13. The last set of achievements I want to talk about are the ones that can easily increase your progress percentage, but don't necessarily unlock anything that useful for the tournament. The first is Fire and Ice. So to get that achievement, you just need to shoot a Winter's Bite, and then kill the enemy with Wildfire. The other easy achievement to get is Bonk. To get that, you'll need to Shield Bash a Cupid. It's a silly achievement, but an easy one to increase that achievement percentage. A couple of other achievements I'd like to talk about are the Bane and Eternal Rapture achievements. Now, to get them, you'll need to kill a large number of enemies with Curse of God and Tempest, respectively. I think that large number is about 8 or 9. I can't remember off the top of my head. To do this, I recommend going to the cathedral at the end of Purgatory. I recommend going into the room just before Anakin, where there are a lot of abominations, and using those to get your required number of kills with a single arrow. One final set of achievements that can easily be ticked off to increase your achievement progress are the pit trial achievements. Similar to the level trial achievements, you'll want to complete the pit as fast as possible. Now, the difference with the pit trial achievements is that you get those achievements upon unlocking the exit portal. You don't actually need to exit the pit to unlock them. Because the pits themselves aren't going to be included in the tournament, these achievements will not help you in the tournament directly. However, they will increase your achievement percentage progress. Now, the achievement percentage progress, as I've mentioned, is linked to the number of enemies you'll see, and more enemies means more points. And that about wraps up my tutorial. Good luck, everybody. Hope to see some new names on the leaderboards. And finally, remember, hesitation is defeat.